At 22 years old, that was the amount of money, $126,000, that I found myself in the hole because I went to college. I was newly married and planning on being a pastor, and I knew I was never really gonna make a lot of money, and so every day I was stressed about that number. I wore it, I felt it like a ton of bricks, like I was shackled to this weight of something that I was never gonna get rid of. And pretty much a couple months right after I graduated, I decided I was gonna do everything in my power to pay off that student debt before I turned 30 years old. So here's my story. The brand I'm building right now is called In the Meantime. And the goal is that we have different places we're trying to reach, goals we want to accomplish, but in the meantime, let's enjoy the here while we're trying to get there. There's 3 pillars that I focus on, and it's our mind, our money, and our movement. I think if you can find peace in all 3 of those areas, you're gonna have a peaceful life. The reason I'm bringing up student debt is A, that was my story to figure out how to get rid of that, which I'm gonna get into the how and the why in just a second. But it's also a lot of people's story, probably you. 43 million people have student debt. Right now, the number is 1.7 trillion. That's how much money is owed in student debt. The average per person is $30,000. That's a ton of money. That's a new car. That's a down payment on a house. That's a lot of money to have to owe. And besides that, it's the second highest consumer debt in the United States behind mortgages, which is like kind of understandable that people have mortgages. It's not understandable that we all need to walk around with giant student debts. So here's my why of why I wanted to pay it off. I hated the idea of how I had to give the government, but really anybody else, any of my money. For me, when it comes to the money pillar, I'm pretty staunch, pretty big believer in having no consumer debt. I'm good with a mortgage, I have a mortgage, but I don't wanna be paying on a car, I don't wanna be paying on furniture, I don't wanna be paying on student debt. I wanna make sure that the money that I bring into my household gets to be used for what we want it to be used for, not because I'm paying somebody back because I bought some rims on my truck to impress someone that doesn't really care, right? So, my why was I wanted to be able to go to bed at night and feel good about my financial situation. I knew I wasn't gonna be a millionaire right away. That's okay. So I wanted to figure out ways to find peace and joy in my money. And I felt like the number one way I could start getting there is to pay off my student debt. I didn't want to wait for anyone to take care of it for me. I didn't want the government to pay it off because I don't believe that they ever will. If you're waiting for them to do that, good for you. I hope it happens. It's probably not gonna happen. So that's why I decided to get after it. And that's my why. I didn't want to feel the weight of all that money pushing down on me on a daily basis. So that's why I wanted to do it. And I have a dream of getting to a place in my life where I'm building wealth, giving generously, and every single dime that comes in, I get to use how I want to use it. So here's my how. That's a huge number, right? And your number might be similar, it might be less, and I just want you to know that you can do it. It took 6 years. At 28 years old, I finally made my final payment in my student debt. And I will be really transparent. My wife and I lived in an apartment that cost us $425. That's stupid cheap, but the sacrifice was, it wasn't very nice, okay? While we were there, we were paying off debt. I started streakers as a side hustle because like I said, I was a pastor, my wife worked for a university. We weren't necessarily bringing in a ton of money from our regular incomes, so I started side hustles, window cleaning, Christmas lights, and I started bringing in a decent amount of money from those things, plus all the money we were saving by budgeting really strictly. We were able to push thousands of dollars a month towards my student debt. We also were able to buy a duplex. Bought the duplex and I flipped it. I started renovating it, which was really hard and showed me that I don't want to be Chip Gaines. That's not my desire, that's not my goal. It was a lot of work, but we started renting it out and it was cash flowing quite a bit of money, about $1,500 a month. So combined with my side hustles, the rental, and parts of our income, we were able to pile together thousands of dollars a month to start paying off my debt. And then in 2019, we came to the conclusion that, hey, house prices are going up. It might be a good time to sell the duplex. And so we did. And because of that, I was able then to pay off the rest of my student debt in full. So that's how I did it, and that's my story. A lot of other people have gone on and done even better than that, and some people might be listening and be like, man, I can't do specifically that, and I understand. It's all relative, okay? Don't compare yourself to other people around you, but there is something you can do. There's things you can get creative about that can help you figure out how to start throwing money at your student debt and your debt in general. If you have a bunch of consumer debt, I think you're gonna feel way better if you start paying it off. You just have to finally decide, hey, am I gonna get serious about the intention of my money? You're working way too hard to have to give someone your money all the time. So you might as well get serious about how you get rid of all this debt. For you, it might be different side hustles, it might be different jobs, whatever, but I think you can do it. And maybe no one's even brought this up to you. The fact that you can pay off your student debt without waiting for someone else to do it. While I was in it, in the meantime, I'll be honest, it didn't always feel like it was ever gonna go away. But as I started seeing huge chunks and the number dropping from 80,000 to 70,000 to 54,000 to then finally being able to pay off the rest of it in full, it felt really good and really inspiring to want to keep going and keep moving forward with my money, to build wealth, to give generously, to have an exciting life. And so that was my goal, and that's what I want your goal to be in the meantime as well. Forget about what everybody else is doing, focus for you. This video might not be for you. If you don't care about your student debt, that's fine. If you do, you can do it. You can pay it off, and once you do, you're gonna feel really good about the direction of your life. So that's it, a short little video, basically me just saying, I did it, you can do it. There were times where I thought, maybe I can't do it, but I kept moving forward and I did it. You can do it. You don't have to be a slave to consumer debt. You don't have to be a slave to your student debt, and get free financially. If this encouraged you, inspired you, if you have any questions, go ahead, comment it. I'd love for you to subscribe. I'd love for you to share. Guys, I'm excited about some of the growth from my YouTube channel so far. My focus right now is doing one video a week, and that's kind of what I'm on par with right now. And again, I'm always gonna be talking about mind, money, movement. So it might be exercise, it might be talking about my businesses, it might be talking about the book that I'm reading, or me sharing something about finances, whatever. That's kind of the goal and focus of my channel. If you want to jump into my podcast, it's In the Meantime with Timmy Riggs. It's on Apple, it's on Spotify. I haven't started my new season yet, but my last one was in September. I'll be kicking it off very soon. Gonna start doing a lot of heavy interviews with people in this space that are winning in their mindset, their money, and their movement. I have another really exciting thing coming up for men. And so anyone 18 and older, I'm excited about a little bit of a community. I think it's gonna be different. Essentially, it's gonna be a book club on steroids. And so if you're interested in that, keep your eyes peeled. That'll be coming soon through the Meantime Company. So with that said, I hope you're having a great day. And in the meantime, enjoy the here while you're trying to get there.